Hello guys, this is Like, and we gotta go. We got a dungeon waiting. The Wailing Caverns. But first, of course, we must collect all the quests for the dungeon. Otherwise, we'd have to come back there again. We wouldn't want to do that now, would we? One of the quests for the area has a prequel. The raptor horns. I gotta go get the raptor horns. I'm gonna get them in the Raptor Cove. It's a place where the raptors are. I stumbled upon it at some point in my Alliance leveling days, and I have noticed from other Alliance players that they don't necessarily know about it. As the quests don't really lead you specifically to this area, you can go and kill these raptors kind of all over the Barrens, even far north or south, I think. But if you want the most efficient spot for raptor hunting, that's the one. In any case, since we're here, we're gonna complete some extra quests along the way. For example, gather some heads, and also beat up some Southsea Pirates. Not all the quests, just a few. Mostly the grey ones that are along the way, because why the heck not? Now there's one more thing that I want to do before the dungeon. I know, but it's pretty important. Look, it won't even take a minute in the video. Well, would you look at that? Looks like we missed the world buff. I believe this world buff is the Warships buff. It's 1 hour long. And it happens in Orgrimmar and also in the Crossroads for some reason. Maybe we'll get it next time. Another quick quest we're gonna get out of the way while we're here is Samophlange. It involves this weird engineering contraption and a bunch of Venture Co. units. Looks like this guy needs a little bit of help. It's not a problem for me. I'm slightly over leveled for the area. But for everyone else, this is a little bit dangerous. Especially since these things can spawn some enemies. Oh god, look at that. Yeah, I make quick work out of these, no problemo. I don't think every single one of these wolves spawn too, but they do spawn a lot. You can kind of just run away though. I don't think you have to engage them. But what the hell, if there's people fighting here, I might as well clean them up, right? It's not nice to leave a mess after yourself. There's also a quick follow-up quest right in that hut over there. All we gotta do is kill a guy, get a key, and we're golden. Assuming the guy is alive. I suspect that possibly the druid also wants in on it, but I'm not sure. He's just kind of like killing these guys haphazardly. Well, the guy's alive. Yep. There we go. Let's do this, Mr. Heyday. Kick his ass. Gonna clear this out for you because otherwise that will happen where you will aggro everything. And we'll aggro everything anyways. But again, not only is it not a problem because I'm here, you also calculated perfectly to ding as part of this fight. Excellent. Excellent strategy. My favorite type of strategy. Let's do this. I believe he's a bit of a runner, so I preemptively hamstrung him. So things don't go out of hand. Oh, it doesn't matter. Get critical striked. Okay, another warrior. This place is popular. Popular, I dare say. That's not how you do it, Mr. Warrior. You don't let them run away like that. Look at the sheer distance that Usain Bolt of a goblin just covered. That's actually insane. Still coming back. He ran away so far that... oh. Okay. Okay, Kenobi. Yeah. He thinks I want to do the quest. Well, fine, whatever. I'll join him on this quest. Why not? It's quick and dirty. Oh, look, another guy. Man, this place is popular. Another ding here. Man, this is suspicious. Suspicious, isn't it? What are the odds of two people dinging into exact same level in exact same area? It's almost like they're following a guide that leads them here or something at the very precise moment. Nah. What are the odds of that? While we're waiting for respawn, we can help out other people with the Samophlange problems. Yeah, this place is crazy packed for some reason. Place is always packed. I see. I wouldn't know anything about that. I mean, it is the Barrens. Pretty popular, I suppose. Anyway, since I already finished this quest and there's another friend coming, I'm just gonna go off my way and let them handle it. There's a quest hub to the east from here where they no doubt will go next. But I'm not going over there. I've got bigger fish to fry. That's right. Over here, by the back entrance to Ogrimmar, there's the South Fury River, which is in Ashara, as long as you stand in the right spot. You need pretty high fishing here, pretty much maxed if you want consistent catches. But it allows you to acquire the Nightfin Snapper, which is worth almost 1 gold a pop, for some reason. Mana must be a real bitch as a Horde character, I guess. No idea. In any case, you can only catch these guys during certain times of the day. In fact, they share the same random pool as Sunscale salmon, and they rotate in 6-hour segments. Midnight to 6 AM, you're only gonna get Nightfin Snappers. 12 to 18, only the salmon. Everything in between, a mix. Put simply, if I wake up early enough, I've got the big money in my bags. In any case, we need to level up our fishing first, because even with the best bait, we're not getting consistent catches. The only other fish that any worth seems to be the deviate fish. It might be the intermediary we need to level up our fishing right now. Yo, who dares interrupt my fishing? You will pay with your life, you foul fiend. Alright, gotta get out of here. I'm dying. Holy shit. Whew. That was dangerous. Anyway, as I was saying, once our fishing is nearly maxed for the current level, combined with a reasonable lure, we should no longer see your fish got away messages, which will make the fishing way more consistent. Fun fact, Samophlange has a continuation that's Horde only, but we can do that after the dungeon. There's really no reason to rush, now that we got all the quests. Also, I found the Fight Club. We don't talk about the Fight Club, right guys? We don't talk about this. Nobody talks about this. Let's just move on. Right, the fishing's done. The fish are in the auction house. It's time to do the dungeon. No more monkeying around. And as we'd have it, we have a group for the Wailing Caverns right here, led by a priest who don't seem to have a tank. Though they do have a warrior for what it's worth, so you never know. Could be just wrong pick. In any case, that might be our group. 2 minutes later. Hey! Need a warrior for Wailing Caverns? Can tank if needed. There we go. We're in, boys. Hello, everyone. We have 2 warriors, a priest, a hunter, and a mage. Very balanced group. Other than the warriors. Let's go! Wow, would you look at that? If we would have just stayed at the town, we would have gotten the world buff. Keep missing it. That really sucks. Why doesn't it buff in Wailing Caverns? That'd be nice. Anyway, it looks like everyone's here except maybe the hunter. Yeah, is he ahead of us? Colon LD. It happens from time to time. I sometimes press L accidentally when I try to. Well, actually, when I try to do the colon. Fat fingering it. God damn it. Anyway, let's share this quest. And the first quest is right outside here. It's Trouble in the Docks. And it involves killing a goblin that is uncharacteristically stealthed in these little encampments over here. But he's nowhere to be seen at the moment. And he probably takes a while to respawn. Can also be in this side of the cave, but unfortunately no goblin in sight. It is what it is. We can always come back later. Am I right, guys? Yeah, let's check after we're done with the dungeon. Can you take a guess if they will come back to check after the dungeon? Fuck! I forgot the ammo! I guess we have ourselves a melee hunter in the group. My favorite type of hunters. Mr. Mooktile from the Mr. Mooktile series is playing a hunter, and he often ends up meleeing because he keeps running out of ammo. Due to his challenge rules. So it can work. Or some definition of work. I don't know about, like, you know, dungeons, but you can probably make it work. Your pet already does so much damage. Does it really matter if you're meleeing? I guess maybe if you don't have the weapon skill. You tank with not shield, says our priest. Let's help our buddy warrior out. I got a shield in the backpack if we need one. That's right. Actually, I still don't know if I'm the tank or the other guy's a tank. It hasn't been explained, and he is in defensive stance. I saw him just switch right now, so you know what? It's another one of those dungeons where I'm going to be the off tank or something. Okay. That's our hunter, and he's leaving. I guess he's gonna go get some ammo. Alright, that's fair enough. I don't know where there's ammo anywhere nearby. So he's probably going for a little bit of a trek. But, yeah, I'm sure he can make it back quickly. He's a hunter. Hunter's OP. On the topic of shields, obviously tanking with a shield is completely unnecessary, except under very certain circumstances. If there's one rule that you have to understand, is you don't argue with the healer. Your life depends on it. If the healer says you need a shield, you put on a shield. And then, you know, when everything goes to shit, you complain about the healer being terrible. Anyways, it's just like when you deal with police. You don't resist the police, okay? And here, you don't resist the healer. Or he's gonna make you have a really bad time. You don't want that. But yeah, like for most situations, unless you're pulling, like, I don't know, a huge amount of mobs because something crazy's happening, you don't really even want a shield, because nothing really does that much damage to you. And you need things to do damage to, so you generate rage, and so that the healer has something to do, you know? Well, that does not bode well. Two of our party members failed to walk over a bridge just about now. One of them's a warrior that has charge, which automatically goes to your target as well. So it's really a spectacular failure of skill to do this. It does not bode well. We'll see how it works out. Looks like everyone went inside and didn't listen to me either. Telling them to kill some raptors. We're gonna regret that. One of the quests is to collect deviate hides. It's a bitch of a quest. Chances of completing it in one run are pretty slim to none. You almost always have to go outside. Can you tank with shield better for bosses and druids?
Yeah, but don't have one hand.
Just to be clear, I think he's saying he doesn't have a one-handed weapon. It's not that he doesn't have one on hand. I'm translating from Orcish, okay? But anyways, I offer my services of covering the bosses. I will be the tank for the bosses, and he can do everything else. He does a jump, which is Orcish for okay, and we're good to go. Now we just need the hunter to get over here. Where can I give my quest up? I thought it's inside here, but it's not. Which quest is he talking about? Sometimes Questy shows quests on the entrance of the dungeon when they're inside a dungeon. So that can confuse people. Hunter is taking a while, so I'm gonna go outside and watch. Where are you, Mr. Hunter? I think he's pretty close. Yeah, there he is. You can see him on minimap. I think he's already inside the caves. I'll act as a shining beacon on his map to let him come to us. Plus attack anything in case he needs some help or something. It should be fine. Yeah, there's some patrols here, you know. He could end up in a little bit of trouble. There he is. Glorious hunter. He should be fine from this distance. I think we're ready to get started, baby. Talk to the druid NPC to get a druid buff in case you don't have a druid, which we don't. And then it's time to go. So, Wailing Caverns is a dungeon of labyrinthine caves. It's pretty straightforward to start. You come out of this big open area. Nothing special. There's raptors. These raptors have a special ability called being blue. And in case you were wondering what does being blue mean, it means that they shriek when they're close to death. Which means all the nearby enemies are gonna come to their aid. Don't believe me, find any other blue raptor. They do the same thing, I swear. What's this about a gem of Anaconda? And sharing a quest. Everyone has the quests. Wait a minute. Oh no. I don't have all the quests. I forgot the gem quest. There's a quest to kill all the druids in the dungeon, and each of them drops a gem. And I don't have it. Oh no. Well, shit. I guess we'll have to come back here again. I swear. I guess in my mind, that quest that has 4 objectives, which is to kill 4 types of mobs in the dungeon, looked like the quest to kill 4 bosses, and then I didn't connect. Fuck. Well, it is what it is. Anyway, we already got one of the 4 druids. It's in the Gully area somewhere. Not always in the same spot. I've seen her spawn on the other side as well. Anywhere where there's like ritual sort of areas. Alright, there's another one down this winding cavern to the west. If you keep following this ledge along the walls, you'll get there. There's a lot more druids and snakes on this path. The druids are in particularly really annoying because they have they have all the druid abilities. They have magic, they have healing, and they have a sleep, which puts you to sleep. And only like a magic dispel can dispel it. So it's like basically just a priest. That's the only real way to do it. And our priest is more asleep than me when I get the debuff, so I don't get dispelled very often, which is making me not so happy. I guess a shaman could also do it if they remember to drop their tremor totem. Ooh, nice legs. Yoink. What? The other warrior needed them first. It's fair game. With 2 bosses down, it's time to go to the other side, the east. There's a wandering turtle around here that can drop some gear. It drops a random ring that I also win. What the hell is going on? I'm getting all the luck in the world. It's gonna make my shopping spree afterwards much easier. Thank goodness. Anyway, this is the most annoying part of the dungeon, because it kind of winds onto itself. It's no longer really straightforward. There's like left and right paths that you can take, and there's horizontality. You don't ever actually have to go down the horizontality, but it makes everything very confusing as to whether you've passed here or not. Very annoying part of the area. It's extra annoying because one of the mobs that you need to kill, the Dreadfangs, only spawn here. So if you take the wrong path enough, you're going to miss too many of those mobs, and then you'll fail to complete a quest. Well, at least on the first run through. Ooh, a mace. Yoink. Honestly, as an Alliance player, I don't feel super confident in navigating this particular part of the dungeon. But generally what I do is kind of cross the first tunnel, and then kind of just hang to the right and follow the wall, kind of. And as long as you do that, you should be fine. Just make sure to kill any extra mobs that could be useful to kill along the way. Also, a lot of like range mobs in this area, so I recommend pulling back. Obviously, the druids have the ability to run away, which will pull extra mobs if you just fight them where they stand. And in general, mobs are pretty tightly packed sometimes. If you make it to this area, which is like kind of a bigger open area with a boss in a pen called Scum, you're pretty much good to go. From here, you just basically continue along the path, and the path becomes very linear as long as you keep straight forward here and don't turn around. It's way too long, this dungeon. No, it isn't. It just feels long because it's winding. Don't worry about it. We approach most famous location in the dungeon, the jump. Can you make it? Many people have failed. And once you're down there, good luck finding your way. I wouldn't even dare. I have no clue where that even ends up if you fall. It's just over. You may as well disband the group if that happens. Try again next time. Maybe if you lose a DPS you can still go or something, I don't know. I don't know what's the official Horde strategy of how to deal with people who fail to jump. But it definitely involves a kick, I know that much, that's just obvious. Alright, this guy is the semi-final boss, and his special ability is to hit like a truck. So it's one of those bosses where you probably should have a shield if you are tanking it. Now it's time for the final boss, which involves an escort through the Gully. It's typically the reason why you clear out the early mobs here to start. And why is the tank pulling mobs when the healer is not even here? God fucking damn it. The healer's left alone. Mobs chasing him. We're dying. Chaos. Just the way I like it. Anyway. The escort is pretty straightforward. You just follow the path towards the last boss lair, and there's some mobs that spawn along the way. No big deal. Just kill them. And kill any extras that you didn't on the first time you went through this. Yeah. And then it's the boss. Fun story about this boss. It involves a few waves of mobs that spawn one after the other. And of course, each wave spawns all at once and goes to attack the escort NPC. So it's a good idea to try not to pull all of them at once, because if you do, well, there could be a lot of mobs attacking you. It's best to let the NPC get hit, so to speak. This gets even worse in expansions, because if you come back here during, let's say, Wrath of the Lich King, the NPC was bugged out, at least in classic version, where if the mobs didn't get to him and hit him at least 1 or 2 times, it would just bug out and wouldn't spawn the boss. It was very funky. You would have to restart the dungeon. Just another typical Blizzard bug. I don't know if that happens in the classic version, but looks like not. Looks like we're fine and we've taken it out. Woohoo! Alright, the dungeon's over. Let's guess how many people are gonna stick around for the goblin. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be just me and my warrior buddy, isn't it? Oh, hell yeah, let's do this, Mr. Sorez. Warriors gotta stick together. Is he in this time? No, he is not in this time. Maybe on the other side? I mean, the fact that there's people passing by probably means no, but there's also mobs here. This might be a patrol mob. These kind of like coily guys kind of like to patrol the area, so he doesn't count. There's a chance. The moment of truth. Bum, 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 bum. He's not here. Well, shit. Want to wait or do it later?
Do you know his spawn rate?
I can check. I don't mind checking spawn rates. It's not a big deal. The internet says it's approximately 8 minutes. And we've been here 2 minutes. It'll be any moment, I swear.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Time to get his ass, Cerez. He's got a few special abilities, I think. It's kind of a thing, if you encounter a goblin, and it's a special goblin, like a boss or something, he's gonna have special abilities. Just accept it, that's how it works. Anyway, quest complete. It's time to say goodbye.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the help.
You're welcome, Mr. Orc. May we meet again in the future. Well, I sort of didn't expect this. I thought I had all the quests, and maybe I would have needed a few extra deviant thingies that I could have farmed out by myself outside the dungeon. But clearly, fate had another idea for me today. In which case, I need to go and do the quest. I'm not 100% sure which quest is it. It's obviously not just a pickup quest, otherwise it would have been shared. It's a chain quest. Well, I have this one quest for the Forgotten Pools, which I do believe is a chain. So we're gonna try that one. It's probably that one. Yeah, and we can obviously complete a few things along the way. And miss another world buff. Just how often does this happen? Holy shit. I'm just gonna get this quest and do literally a second dungeon run immediately. Then we can finally go bling ourselves out a little bit. Jesus. In case you missed it, when I was leveling fishing, which took 2 hours by the way, I caught a little over 100 of those deviant fish. Most of them just from random fishing, but there's also pools that spawn sometimes, and I picked up a few from that as well, which was very nice. And, well, we can expect a reasonable payday, assuming they all sell. I'll definitely be going to check out my bank/auction alt as soon as we're done with this next dungeon run. Christ almighty. I think as soon as I'm done testing these seeds, we should be good to go. Of course, it would help if I was actually going to the correct oasis. Look, they all look the same. It's just a puddle in the middle of a desert, surrounded by centaurs. Can you really blame me? Can you really blame me? Of course, there's at least one more quest to go kill a bunch of turtles for their scales. At least I'm in the right oasis this time. Woohoo! Right. Well, at least I learned a fun way to kill all these turtles underwater. Because these vents allow you to breathe. Which means I can just pull them to the vent and kill them there. And this way it's easy. And it does a lot of damage. We completed a little bit of extra side quests along the way, and Ding 22. This is outrageous. Completely outrageous. I swear I didn't plan for this, okay? It just happened. Anyway, someone needs a tank for Wailing Caverns, and I'm pretty sure we're about to get the quest that we need. I hope so. Hey, maybe this Torn will do it.
What brings you here?
There we go, leaders of the Fang. Holy shit. Okay, we're ready. Well, at least I'm ready. And these guys are probably also kind of ready. Yeah, they're already asking to go inside, so I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna quickly train since I dinged level 22 and all. And just get over there, I guess. Fuck. Seriously.
You wish to speak?
Alright. Battle Shout upgrade, Sunder Armor upgrade, and Intimidating Shout. Yeah, that's pretty important. The rest, not so much. We can live without it. Let's go to the dungeon, baby. Alright, what do we have this time? Again with a priest and a mage, but we have a shaman and a druid instead. Well, that just makes the druid NPC buff pointless. Shaman in particular is very nice to have, of course, because of Tremor Totem breaking the sleep. Assuming the shaman remembers to put it down. As always, obligatory check for the port, and it's not there, is it? Yeah. Well, no surprise. Oh! Now the mage may be keyboard turning, but at least he made it over the bridge. So... Good. That's a good sign. I think we'll be fine. Alright. This time I'm in the official tank role. So you know things are gonna go more or less exactly like last time, because there's really not that much crazy things going on for my skill to shine through. And we're still kind of low level, so you know, we don't have all of our special abilities. We don't have whirlwinds. We don't have any berserker rages. Those are going to be really great when we get to that level. But for now, it's just more of the same, let's be honest. One thing to note, however, the shaman is a threat whore. Honestly, it's insane. If I don't hyper focus on a mob, the shaman is gonna pull aggro. I think it has to do with one of their shocks, like the earth shock. I think does extra threat, which, well, obviously at low levels that might be significant. In fact, that's one of the reasons why shamans can and maybe even should tank early on. They're pretty good, at least single target, and it's not like we have AoE anyways. Just something to note. Overall, I would say the run went great. There were some wonky, crazy things happening, like this wall climbing NPC. And also, I think after this particular pack, we ended up pulling another pack, and then we kept pulling more and more mobs, especially as more mobs ran away, to the point where it got absolutely ridiculous, and I actually almost died just from the sheer amount of mobs on me. Crazy. But we somehow managed to survive. I think the shaman was off healing when the priest ran out of mana. Good. These are good players. They know what they're doing. It's pretty good. Anyway, we finally have some breathing time. So let's talk about something else. The last video did extremely well, no doubt due to the somewhat clickbaity title. Only a little clickbaity, just a little bit. I got over 1,000 views. I sincerely doubt this video will get 1,000 views because there's not going to be as much clickbait. There will be clickbait later. There's a video that I'm planning a bit later down the line called Judgment Day. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. It's ever since the events of that day is when I really wanted to make this series. Before that I wasn't sure, but then it happened and it was hilarious. Still, I think most people came in, saw that the video wasn't immediately talking about dual wielding and just left, but a few people stuck around, so that's nice. I think it works out in the end. And I even got a comment about the dual wielding topic. Without going too much into the specifics, a person agreed with me that dual wielding is definitely a highly potential way to level warrior. But more importantly, they chimed in a little about the lower levels, such as using a one-handed weapon plus shield, which is, I would say, a viable strategy just on the face of it. Yeah, you can swing your slow two-handed weapon, or you could get a fast one-handed weapon and put a sharpening stone on it. The sharpening stone, at early levels, it still gives flat damage increase. And flat damage increase, while it doesn't seem like a big deal at later levels, on a fast weapon in lower levels, it represents quite a dramatic amount of attack power. The way it works is 1 DPS is equivalent to 14 attack power or 7 strength, right? Depends on the class, but for warriors definitely. And in order to get plus 1 DPS, you have to add enough damage to a weapon so that when you divide it by its speed, it becomes 1. So if the weapon's speed is 2, you need 2 damage because you're going to do those 2 damage every 2 seconds, which will add 1 damage per second. So the faster the weapon, the more flat damage increases DPS. Even with the low level sharpening stones, when you put them on the dagger, which is like 1.3 speed or something, it can easily add up to 15 or even 20 strength worth of stats, which is obviously absolutely ridiculous. I really didn't think this through, but when you think about it, it's kind of insane. It's just that because it's for the first 20 levels, which go by pretty quickly anyways. I never even considered doing that. And if you're using a two-handed weapon instead, the buff from the sharpening stone would be way, way smaller. Closer to like 7 strength. So, obviously, if you have that much of a difference, the gap between the damage of the one-handed and two-handed weapon is way, way reduced because of this. And you get a shield, which enables you to have a lot more defense. Once again, making things a little bit easier. And giving you easy access to interrupts, which definitely would have saved me at least once, possibly twice. It's kind of crazy to think about. So if I do level a warrior again, I will definitely consider this strategy. Of course, unless you have blacksmithing, you're going to have potentially hard time procuring the stones yourself. So maybe not a fresh server strategy, unless you're going to go blacksmithing, which then, of course, yeah, it only makes sense. Anyway, that was a great run. Mr. Hellbones over here. Was a nice and chatty healer, unlike the cranky, you must put on a shield previous healer. The loot was also fantastic. We got ourselves a second weapon, a chest piece dropped randomly in the middle of the run, and also the last boss dropped a chest piece. Unfortunately, I still can't wield because it has a level 23 requirement, but it has a humongous amount of strength, which is going to be a very powerful piece of equipment. Probably going to be hard to upgrade even with all the money in the world. Let's put it like that. The party quickly scampers, as is the tradition. But the priest sticks around for one last goblin check. Lucky for him, he's right there. So, quest complete for our buddy priest, isn't that nice? Always nice to help people out. Alright. We've put this off enough times. By this point, the money coming in from the deviate fish is in the bags. 20 gold. Originally, I wanted to buy some weapons with this money, but since we got so insanely lucky and got 2 weapon drops, partly my fault for doing the dungeon twice, who would have expected this? It's just physically not worth it to buy anything until level 23 to 25, which means I get to splurge on other things. For example, some consumables, which are going to come in potentially handy. Elixirs, weight stones. I'm not sure about the rum. The rum gives some stamina, but it's still a little bit too expensive and rich for my blood. Maybe when we get a little bit richer. Keep in mind, even though we have a bit of money, that's nothing compared to these random blue items. And we definitely want to acquire a good chunk of them. In fact, I'm going to make this very specific list of various items of worthiness. It doesn't mean I'm going to buy every single one of them, but if I have the money, which I will most likely have sooner or later, and there's still an upgrade, I'm definitely picking them up. Because some of these items will last for quite a long time. Nonetheless, I also want to pick up something for myself to fill out some slots that aren't quite as good. So I look for some relatively cheap pieces with some strength, agility, stats like that to fill things out. There's some surprisingly cheap pieces with high strength if you just look at all the options, which you should. Not necessarily something I have to equip right now. If there's a good piece that I can equip at level 23, I'm almost level 23, so that should be fine. Case in point, there's some extremely fancy of the tiger boots for level 23. That's an easy buy. There's also tiger rings, but they're so goddamn expensive. 9, almost 10 gold. I might as well save up for the blue rings instead and buy something to tide me over for the moment. Anyway, it's pretty late. Time for me to go to sleep. Of course, I get a world buff that lasts just about as long as I want to fish, which means it will be useless. But it does mean that next time we're going to have a lot more money to play with. Hopefully. Look forward to that.